Good day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us from everywhere you are joining from. We trust that you are doing well. We trust that the weather is good where you are. We trust that for us carrying our project, trust that it's going on well. But after this session, at least we have about 15 minutes to ask questions with regards to projects. But before then, today's session is about soft skills, continuation of our soft skills training. We Today we are closer to home. Our previous soft skills training, the first and second, we had training about time management, leadership. Second, we had our project management 101 since we're in the project phase. And today we are speaking with our tech mentors and our tutors, bringing it home, bringing it very close to us to know that the success that we are looking forward to is not so far fetched. It's within us. It's amongst us, and we are sellers. We are healing us. We know that we can achieve this success. We know that we are industry leaders. We know that we are professionals in our different careers. So whether you are new in tech, you are transiting within career, Textiles is a network for you. We have mentors that cut across different fields. So please feel free, relax. You can ask questions. Some mentors on the call today have slides. Some do not have slides because they want to speak to us from their very hearts. They want to pour out their journeys to us, um, what they have journeyed through as they have gone through the tech experience, and they're here to share wisdom and just inspire us with live experiences, live people that we see. People These are people we see in the community. We see their chats once in a while. They've tutored us at some point, and so now they're telling us their personal stories, their personal experiences and testimonies from what they've experienced. So please feel free, relax, and have your questions handy as much as possible. Please, can you see this presentation now? Yes, thank you. So on today's agenda, would have a brief of, like I'm introducing now, about textilers. Then we'll dive right into the mentor session because we know it's early for some people. Some people have other endeavors to carry out today. And then we'll have the alumni session where we'll be listening to one of our alumni who is now a mentor speak to us about her transition and her journey in about 2-3 years. How that she put herself together and is now doing amazing things in tech. So we would listen to that icing on the cake. So stay tuned. We'll also be checking up on ourselves with regards to projects. We'll have answer questions and then we'll call it a wrap. So as it says, session is being recorded, and please mute your mic if you're not speaking, and please, there's question and answers open if you have particular questions, or you can engage in the chat box. So today I'm signing off with a quote which says from Steve Jobs. It says innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. So we have started May 18th. We started the tech deep dive. We advertised. We sent out the flyer on all platforms like the one where we have seen, and we all joined. A lot of us joined, shared it, and here we are celebrating ourselves that we are almost at the end of the road, almost 2 weeks completion. We celebrate you, appreciate you, give yourself a tap at the back, give yourself a round of applause, give yourself a celebration, celebrate yourself, raise a toast to yourself that you have come this far from May up until July, and then finally graduation first week in August. We have done well. We've gone through a lot of training. So for me, this quote says it emphasizes the importance of innovation in technology, and that's one of the key things that we're taking away from the tech training, innovation, how we can strive to innovate our work in ourselves and existing trends in as much as technology is evolving every day. And we trust that all of us are innovative in one way or the other. There was a place I saw that there is no silly idea. It's an idea all the same. So right now, I would invite our community leader, Blessing, to speak to us and to share with us in her journey. Blessing.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Omolara. Uh, welcome everyone to today. Today is a special day, an emotional one. All the week past, we've actually been learning, and I rather say Lara is more of like the community manager than I am, because she's the one you get to see more, to interact more. She's our programs manager, but at the end, she's literally the community manager at the end. She's just giving me this opportunity to speak. So, welcome everyone. Thank you very much, Lara. She has even been a dear friend. She has been that sister that is far away from home. So, one thing I would really like to share from my journey, I'm a transitioner from the engineering field to, sorry for that. I'm transitioning from engineering field to tech, and it has not been an easy journey. Yes, it's we have all the sweetness, we know what it is there. Like I started with all enthusiasm when I wanted to move. I saw the whole green light. Okay, when you enter this field, there's everything. But then I'm someone that likes to understand the hows, the whys. I also learned about the risks that okay, when you're entering this journey, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have the downtimes, you're going to have the high point and the low point. That was one thing that really helps me. So understanding that yes, there are times that you'll be very high, times that you'll be low. So one thing that I know I did personally was when I made up my mind that oh, I'm going to embark on this, and I knew that it wasn't going to be easy. Anytime I encountered challenges, I would try to reassess and see how I can overcome it. For instance, I will use a life example. When I started, when where I was staying, I was working in an engineering firm, an oil servicing company. Then I had to, what I told myself was anytime there was a break or anytime I'm not doing something, I was learning, right? So it's even the only thing it did, I had to sacrifice my free time. It's made me seem, my colleagues saw me that, blessing, you're always learning, you're always doing something, you're not always having time to gist, to play. Then when I go back home, that time we did not have a generator, no light issue in Nigeria. So one thing I told myself that, okay, I'm going to be attending classes both at midnight or studying at midnight or learning, and I'm eventually going to have to write tests, take certification tests and all weekends. What happens to light? Should I say, oh, I don't have an access to light when NEPA takes lights and I give up? I kept thinking around it. Luckily, I'm blessed with neighbors that oh, they are blessed with this. And staying in front of their place would be a bit tricky because sometimes no one understands your struggle. They may not fully understand, so there will be noise and all. I didn't stop there. I went ahead. I always have this is like a big testimony to me. If you can see this is like an extension wire, right? It's almost 20-meter long. That was what I did. The only thing I now did is reach out to everyone and say, please, I only need this to plug my laptop and phone when there is no light, and then extend it to my place. The reason why I'm sharing this is that sometimes in our journey, we encounter challenges. One thing that comes to mind is give up. Oh, I don't have laptop. Oh, I don't have data. Oh, I don't have light. And then we easily give up. Oh, I don't have someone to talk to. Oh, I don't have a mentor. Like I said, someone like Clara, she has heard a lot of when I'm stressed, I tell her. When I'm frustrated, when I'm happy, I share with her. So if you're able to see, first of all, understand your challenge, reassess everything you want to do, like you're learning various things, try to understand the highs. Yes, it's very exciting, and also try to understand the lows. Then keep thinking of ways to overcome it, because definitely when you encounter a challenge, the solution may not come instantly. And trust me, like this really helps me. I wrote the AWS certification exam, solutions architect exam, with this, powered by this, like literally. I wrote a data exam, 2 hour data exam with this. How I was able to plug it. The only thing I did was from time to time I'll say, okay, I'll buy fuel and put in someone's generator. So it even may give me a power. I was able to, if anyone turns on the generator, I'm able to even have. So I even had the bigger generator at the end, from not having generator to even having the bigger one. But that didn't just come off by me, by someone handing off that solution to me. I had to think of it. I had to persist. I didn't just give up. I didn't back out. And that goes a lot to all of us. You may not have, this may not be relating to you. I'm just sharing this so that we get to relate. It's may your own may come in a different way. Your own may come in a total different way. It could be you not even having your laptop. It could be you trying to juggle. Okay, when someone's laptop is available, you take advantage of it. Okay, when
Sorry about that. I've muted person.
no worries, thank you. When data is available, you take advantage of it. Or when you're even stressed, who do you talk to? How do you distress yourself and all that? So the most important thing I'm saying is try to understand everything around what you're going to embark on. It's going to be fun. It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be exciting. It's not going to be all smiles. Like, see, MJ is appreciating Lara. She's really doing a lot. It's not easy. It's almost it's midnight where she is currently, and she's up organizing this. She literally doesn't sleep. She has even been a good friend. That's the great impact she is. She understands what it is, and she's able to go this extent. So when you understand what you're trying to embark on, then you're able to know how to go about it. You're able to see when you're facing these challenges, and you understand that, okay, yes, now I'm going through this phase, and I'm able to hold on. I know this is going to come. How do I handle it? You're able to at least understand and not give up and not give in to it, because it's not going to be easy. But all in all, you are all here, and it's been like you are superheroes. Seriously, it's not easy to wake up at your daily task, your daily routine, learn and reach this week in your learning. So kudos to you all. But all in all, still try to laugh in it, still try to find the fun in it. It's going to give you the spirit to keep moving. Get that friend that you're able to talk with. The internet has made this us a global village. So be free to share with one another, to interact and share your wins, share your struggles when you're struggling. You mustn't always be at the top every time. Share your struggles with each other, share your wins, know how to add the fun to it, know when be to bounce back, know when to, if possible, even when you are confused, just keep moving. I love one little thing. There's one thing that I think that really, really inspired me to keep pushing. I said tortoise. I know I keep looking at other animals, but then when I look at tortoise, I say it's the same thing as little drops of water. When your a tap is dropping water, right? And you want to get a bucket full of water, and maybe there's nothing else around, you may be frustrated at the rate at which it's dropping. But then if you give up, just take your bucket and get out, right? I'm just trying to be as basic as possible. You get out. That's It's only at the point where it stops collecting, that's where it will stop. But if you leave it, right, and focus on maybe other things, or even wait patiently, or you leave it and focus on other things, then eventually it will get to be filled and you will have that bucket full of water. So if possible, try to adopt little drops of water and know that Rome wasn't built in a day. I know we're always used to, when we're trying to learn and build, we look up to people. It happens to a lot of us. It happens to me in particular. But then I remind myself that it's little drops of water, and then Rome wasn't built in a day, right? So if I'm patient with myself, I appreciate myself, allow myself to go through everything, then, and not rush myself, because it's easy to have the inferiority complex. It's easy to want to give up because you're seeing Miss X or Mr. Y building an aeroplane with just an iPhone, and you're seeing yourself that you're not even able to type hello Python, a hello world in Python or something in the language you're learning, and then you're confused. Please be patient with yourself. Just tell yourself it's okay. You are not, your story is not the same as that person's own, right? Your story is not the same as that person's own. My story is not the same as yours. Like I shared this with us, you may not even have neighbors that have generous enough to allow you plug into their generator when there is no light for you to learn. Your own story may be different. So our stories are unique. My face is different. Yours is different. So understand your story. Tell yourself that, oh, Blessing's journey is not my journey. Lara's journey is not my journey. So I am patient with myself. It is okay. As long as I don't give up, I'll eventually get there. If eventually, by God's special grace, once as for long as I'm alive, I'll eventually get to 35, right? So if I give up now because I've not gotten that, and I'm supposed to achieve, maybe get it fully, become fully skilled up, and get that blind mind blowing stuff in 4 years' time, and I give up now because I've not achieved it, because Lara has achieved it and everyone is praising Lara, everyone is praising her, no one's looking at my place or my face, everyone is appreciating her and all that, and then I give up now. 4 years' time will still come. I will still be alive. And then that 4 years' time, I've not yet achieved anything. But if I keep on, just like little drops of water, eventually the 4 years will come. I will be filled. And at that time, my time will come and I will be celebrated. I'll leave us with this. So let's always remember your journey is unique. Each person's journey is unique, and you can do it. You are stronger than you think you are. You are smarter than you think you are, really. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Blessing. Thank you for sharing part of your journey with us. I mean, I wrote some things down. So we'll probably do a reflection on those. But after we have our tutors speak. So this is a snapshot of our tutors and mentors. In Power Apps, we have Omolola, Carolina, we have um, Peace, we have in Power BI, we have Yinka, Gloria, Chiomachi. For co-pilots, we have Foyin, Jumoke, Jazri, Rachel. Today, for Power BI, Yinka will be speaking with us. For co-pilots, Judge will be speaking with us, and Rachel. For Azure, we have Tosin and Titi speaking with us today. Hello, Sarah, anywhere you are connected from. For security, data security, we have Joy, powerfully bringing words and, why you say words on marble? That's what I will give for Joy. Joy, words on marble, because that marble is very powerful. We have Amina speaking to us as well from the UI UX track. And then we celebrate you, Fanka. No, we do not leave you out. We are here. We see you and we celebrate you. So, Joy, please confirm you are on the call, and the floor is over to you now.
Hi everyone, good morning. I'm on the call. Sorry.
Thank you.
Do Uber. Uh, I would start by taking off from. I joined the call when Blessing was explaining about how she was able to get her neighbors to give her generator, and what came to my head was the importance of relationship as you build your career. Everybody wants to. One of the things that I see a lot of people try to do here is we want to be very good in being technical, and that's good because probably when you hear your mentors talk, it looks like they're performing magic when they're talking about the technology. So you want to do that, and that's great. So I will be speaking. I'll throw some light on how to make yourself exceptional in the technical space. But just to take a lift from what Blessing was talking, the power of relationships, so that even when you think you're good, it's those relationships that help the career growth. I'm here today in textiles because of relationship. Um, the kind of relationship that I have with the co-founders is a very unique one. Um, I met Jumoke in one of the organizations I used to work with, and we used to be very tough technical counterparts where when we're arguing and solutioning. And I think 10 years down the line, through Jumoke, I got to meet Funi. And it's a very unique story that because Jumoke is very private, she wouldn't want me to go deep dive into that story. But it's amazing how just one relationship, and don't get me wrong, you would hurt each other in the course of your relationship. I know how many times me and Jumoke have had to have issues, right? My style and her style. I'm a very tough person. MJ is tough but subtle. Like she has this calmness in her. I know get time for calmness in when I'm especially when I'm doing technical designs. So we used to be she used to be my cold water when my head is hot. But where I'm going to is that relationship has yielded another relationship. So today I have a relationship with Foni that even sometimes if me and Fonyi are talking, Fonyi will say, I'm sure MG is feeling like I've stolen you from her because you would see me and Fonyi and think I have known Fonyi for as long as I have known Jumoke. Meanwhile, my friendship is more with Jumoke that yielded the relationship I have with Fonyi. And this is just at this level. It can another example is I'm speaking today not because I was a mentor in Texas. Today was just not convenient. But when the request came from Lara, I just did not know how to say no. Because Lara is somebody that we have seen that has pushed herself. So I could have said no to Jumoke and Fonyi if they came to me because I can open up to them why today was not going to be convenient. So even though I have a very good relationship with Jumoke and Fonya, I could have told them, babes, and they would say, it's true, don't worry yourself. But the person who came forward today was somebody who is a new relationship. And for every time I see how much this young woman is putting into building this community, I felt it would just be so not fair to her to say no and get her to go look for somebody else. Another importance of relationship in whatever you're doing. So I put it out here because many of you have come for this 10 weeks program or 12 weeks program that we've been doing. Get what you want to get, and you're going to dust your feet and move. And this is what I see across being a mentor across me. There are some people that when I'm reviewing their CV, they have done all the boot camps in this world and I'm not seeing progress. They're in all the free trainings and free. They are okay with putting it on their LinkedIn profile, but when you engage them, you're not seeing progress. The reason is because they have left out some very important key things. Relationship. They are more about they sit in this session, they think it's learning the technical, click here, they leave, they go away. And the relationship that they're supposed to take and hone and yield result, they have left it out. And so even them, when you engage them, you see that they are frustrated themselves because they don't understand. So those are some of the things I call out in my mentorship sessions with people. I just want to put it out here to you to say, you need to know how to leverage on relationship. It's a powerful tool. Even, and don't get me wrong, not everybody will like you. You will have to also prove relationship by having conflicts that come out and yield results. But relationship is one of the key foundations that help you grow your career. Um, and not to say the other wonderful people I've met today, Madam Franca and I were always talking. our president early is a very good inspiration to me, all because of relationship. Now, having said that, let's move to technical, which is one of the things I've seen a lot of people like to do, and that's good. You want to know the skill. One thing I observed, and it's not just here, but when people come to learn technical sessions, is that people are, you sit in a session, someone is mentoring you, and I see, maybe it's a subconscious thing, but I see people on the eagerness to want to quickly say that they know how to do this thing, forgetting that sometimes some of us who taught you this thing, we must have done it 3 4 5 times to become as good as we are to tell you to do this. So what we're saying is you need to practice. The people in security will tell you sometimes I don't answer their questions. Like I said, I'm a tough person. I'm not very calm like Jumoke. They will ask me certain questions and I will not answer them. You know why? I'm like, you guys are even in a world where there's YouTube, there's Google, where there's AI. And some of you will ask the most simplest questions because you don't want to spend little effort in working on yourself. Sorry, I'm not all mushy mushy this morning. I'm here to provoke you because I know that you have it inside of you to be great. I'm here to say to you that you're not going to get hand-me-downs all the time. You need to push yourself to become that thing that you want to be. You have gotten the foundation. I bet you, I'm not saying it because I'm a tutor, what Textilers has given you will cost you close to ₦1 million to get it anywhere. For every time I see the apps that people in Power Apps always build, I'm smiling at them, looking at business opportunities in Nigeria that they are not harnessing. We know lots of small companies that will gladly pay you 200, 300. You have 5 of them in a month and you chunk out those apps. That's over 1.5 million. Even if you are working somewhere that they're not paying you, and I see people will come get this training, go, and when you engage them 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, they're still struggling. And I'm just laughing at them. Because after the session, that was it for them. After the training, that was it. They don't sit down to. So when Jumoke came up with this idea of project this year, I was like, oh my God, do these people in this year understand what Jumoke has done for them? If I am many of you, even when I finish the one that I was assigned to, I will go and take the remaining other projects and put a goal that I will develop each one and do each activity on each project. There are about 10 projects. You see those 10 projects, that's enough to show you years of experience. Your ability to analyze each of those projects and complete it is enough to pack your CV with enough evidence to show that you have experience to give you beyond an entry level job. Quote me anywhere. That's what I said. But the question is, are you ready to pay the price? Are you just looking for hand me down? Push yourself. We're in the community. Come to us with questions that engage us and challenge us. The mentors are not looking for someone who practically tell them, I'm unable to save. The thing is not saving. I bet you Yinka will just be angry. Which one do you think is not saving? Yinka wants you to come and tell her, I've run this query, I've done this query, and look at how my dashboard was looking. But I'm looking at that. This thing's supposed to be for an executive director, so I'm expecting it to call her. And guess what? Yinka might not even know where it is, but you have challenged her to go and also do her research. But because she has more experience than you, she might be able to quickly get an answer. So she's coming back to you to challenge you to say, oh yes, you know what? I did this, did that. I'll give an example. There was a young chap in the data security, very powerful. I said the first thing class was go and create STIs. He was able to find the regex that we can use for creating STI for, I think, Nigerian's driver's license. And I was happy about that because for me in the class, I would have taught them using keyword dictionary. The whole idea was just to show that Purview can detect a sensitive data. It didn't matter if I used any of the examples. Now, during the class when we were trying it, we were getting errors. So we all went. But because he had made a step effort to go and look for it, I wanted to see how would this reggae work. And I did a research and I stumbled on a video where somebody was showing and explaining how you interpret your reg expressions. And I was able to use that and resolve it. Those are the kind of things you should do. Challenge the people who you meet to want to help bring out the best in you. Don't come and tell me this thing is not working. How do I turn it on? It's on Google. You're going to know how to turn it on. Go to Google. But come and challenge me like, I'm thinking, in a health environment, they're doing this. How do we use Purview to ensure that we can protect? And as you're talking and we're talking and you're taking notes and you're coming back and saying, George, this is what I think, that I can do. And we can show you, I can say, okay, you know what, I can introduce you to somebody who is looking for someone who can do this. Let me take you there. So I've called out like three things. Number one, push yourself, invest in yourself, work on yourself. Don't look for hand me downs. Leverage on the relationship that is in textilers. Leverage on this relationship. Your life will never remain the same. Number three, don't stick to the projects that you've been given. When you are done with the one you have been given, take the other nine, I think there are about 10 of them, nine, and work on them with the remaining of this year. As I said to you, come back and tell me that your career has not moved. There are village people, we know how to work on those kind of village people, and you will get results. Finally, if you don't have a job or you're somewhere in a job, start somewhere. My first job was as a graduate, was with a tax consulting company that we know these people that use house as office. That's where. So I was coming to someone that was like a house. In fact, when I'm coming to work, as I open the gate, the person downstairs, they are washing pots. Me, I'm dressed like secretary. So that's the kind of office. I did not have a posh kind of office environment. Well, I've never seen where if you're writing your CV, they're asking you to describe the building of where you work. Rather, they're asking for experience, right? That office had enough jobs to give me experience. And guess the experience I was working on as a BSc graduate in computer science. When I went there, I had experience with typing. My dad's own business then, back in the years, was using typewriters. So I was very good with typing. So I was good with secretarial stuffs. As much as I have gone to the university, and we all know how universities, what they teach us, go back Fortran, I knew there was more. And when I finished, I would go and sit in cyber cafe back in the days, and I would research. So I started building my research skills. I'm one of those who know how to use Google very well and look for what I want to do. And I'll tell you how it was very helpful in my career, that people used to think I'm a very badass tech person. Meanwhile, it was Google. And I would spend time honing that skills on research because I was also in a secretarial admin field. While doing that, I'm having conversations with people. I'm expressing my desires of what I wanted to do. Somewhere in my family, my elder cousin was in sales tech. And she started working for big companies, Cisco and the rest. And I would just say how, I would love to be technical. And she just kept hearing it. I'm trying to tell you the power of relationship. And she one day met somebody who became a good friend, who was a HR lady, looking for a front desk for this office that now had the whole swag of fine office, fine building. And then she calls me and says, hey, this is a tech company, but it's the opening now is for front desk. I said, yes. Now, remember, I have worked years as a secretary in another company, so I understood what secretarial services were, putting things together, ambience, and I had spent time researching, so I had honed my skills on research, so I knew how to tweak my CV. I see some of you CV, and I'm like, there's no way this CV is going to get you a job. Your CV is the first thing that tells somebody who you are before the person sees you. It's almost like body odor. You walk in somewhere, your odor puts off someone, the person doesn't even want to look at your face. That's what your CV smells you, your CV sells you. So many of you spend time, you feel pressured working on your CV. Many of you, I see how tired you are to work on your own CV that is supposed to be the voice that speaks for you. You tell people to go on this and they come back complaining, tired to work on their CV. I spent time fine-tuning my CV and I got that front desk job. Now, during the conversation of the front desk, again, enjoy your interview session, whether you'll be taken or not is left to the company. While we were talking and I was explaining myself, I had mentioned to the lady my dream of being a technical person. And, it is one of the things I look forward to. So when they say, where's your 5 years plan? All of those kind of questions, I was speaking into that kind of thing. Like, oh, this is where I see myself, very good in technical. I might not be saying the right exact words I used that day, but I knew that that was my vision. 4 months into the company itself started having crisis. The technical people that had stayed there felt that they were not giving what they were. And this is where I become spiritual. I tell people, go and check it all over the world. When you pray, and that's why I fight religious people. I'm a child of God. I serve God, hold him dearly, but I don't like religion because people are so stuck on religion. They don't understand God fact. The company had, these were powerful engineers that felt like the company was not giving them what they wanted. So it looked like a revolution. But I felt it was a revolution for some of us who were young people who always referred to that company as our breakthrough. So as the guys were revolving, they were getting better deals and leaving. And the company was struggling and needed people. So the company was looking for, you're not too early in your experience, but you're not too deep so that they can afford you. And people started submitting CV, and I'll take these CVs. And guess what? I had forgotten about my vision, and I was collating CVs and sending to the HR. And then one day the HR called me and said, "Joy, we're having interviews." I said, "Yes, ma'am. I've sent all the list. I've sent the list to that person who I was reporting to in the admin." And she said, "But I can't see your CV there and your name. What happened to that dream?" And I said, "Oh my God, I didn't know much." She just laughed. I quickly put my CV to put it there. And yes, I was in front desk. I went for the interview. Now, it's not like it was easy. The manager there who always saw me in the front desk did not see me as a technical person. So he struck me out that I didn't have what he wanted. But guess what? During my admin work, the CIO had moved on one particular day. I tell this story everywhere. Then it used to be complimentary card that used to reign. When executives go out, you exchange complimentary cards. It's not like now people can do in LinkedIn, WhatsApp and all that compliment. So he would always come back with stacks of complimentary cards. And he was a foreigner, and then he would give me those cards, and he had this machine, and he say, "Joy, scan all these cards, I don't know how, when you scan them, what will happen, how we get them into my contact list." So I did the research, and that's where I want to speak to you technical people. I remember the first day Jumoke was taking the project, she said, "Guys, use ChatGPT. Think about your solutioning. See, the most easiest work to do is click, click, click." Sorry, I know I'm about to wrap up. The most easiest thing to do is click, click, click. The person who defines the implementation plan is the solutions architect, and that's the person who owns the big box. So when you're aspiring to grow your technical career, look for how to grow your career to where you're sitting down and talking solution, because you're going to get your moishes to do the click, click, click. When I was doing that, was the first place somebody made me understand the power of solutioning. I took those complimentary cards, researched, understood what I needed to do, created a implementation plan. That's what we would call it today. But that time I didn't know that's what I was doing. So I knew that I had to scan. After scanning, I have to save it as CSV. And then when I export it as CSV, I import it into Gmail. And then automatically the person will receive it as his contact on his phone. So I took 2-3 numbers, scanned those, did it, and put it on my own Gmail, and I saw it on my phone. And it was like magic. Data on card converted and exported into digital data. This thing, I'm telling you, is over in 2010. You can see the same terminology we're speaking. Tech is the same thing. We're just rebranding it. I took data, unstructured data, converted and became structured data. What did I do? And so I repeated that, and then the CIO was sitting down, and I just called his desk phone. I said, "Sir, if you can help me check your Gmail. There's an exported file. Can you import it into your Gmail and sync to your phone?" Bam, and he did it, and he had all those numbers. So when the head of infrastructure said I didn't pass the interview as much as he wanted because he didn't see me technical, the CIO said, "No, this person that can do this can work with us." He spoke that in the room. Now, I wasn't there when he was saying all of this. I didn't even know that the head of infrastructure did not want me. And then I get a call from HR to say, "Joy, come to my office." And she says, "Congratulations." She said, "But it didn't go easy." She said, "The head of infrastructure felt you didn't have enough of what was needed." But guess what? The CIO said no. He told us a story of when he gave you a task to do, and this is how you delivered on the task. And as far as it's concerned, those are key soft skills of a technical architect. And so he wants you on board. The rest is history. I'm saying to somebody here, you have already gotten the key to your door by doing textiles training. Now is the opportunity for you to take your career to the next level. And the only way you can do that is by defining what you want to be. There's enough opportunity. While everybody is shouting jackpot in Nigeria, I told someone, I'm in a close circuit where we were over 50 something people in tech, and more than half of us are no more in Nigeria. That job role, I say to you authoritatively, people have not been able to fill it today. So there's opportunity in Nigeria today for a lot of you that are crying, no jobs, no that. But because you don't want to put that thing that makes you distinct, Everybody is a graduate. What is different about you? Everybody has 2-1. What is different about you? Everybody has first class. What is different about you? Everybody's writing the goddamn certification that we're seeing today. Oh, I just completed my this thing. You get 20 likes, 100 likes. Congratulations. What did you do with that certification that you're doing? The opportunities are there. Say to yourself today, this will be the last you remain at this level. And I'm saying in the next 90 days, if you work on yourself, you'll be amazed at where you will be. Thank you very much.
Words of marble. Thank you so much, Joy. Thank you. Thank you. The reactions have just been going on and on and on. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for pouring into us. Thank you for being vulnerable to tell us your background story. We appreciate you and celebrate you. Thank you, Joy. Wow. So much. Yes, Rukaya, this is the last that will remain in this circle. Thank you. So we want to celebrate the Power Platform tutors, Omolola in absentia, Carolina Buluwatife. We see their work, we celebrate them. Those in Power Apps and Power Automates, I'm sure you've had a feel of their tutelage and I've celebrated them as well. So for the co-pilot, we have Jasmine that will steer the ship for that learning track. And so I would like to give Jasmine the mic now.
Thank you, Lara. So I'm feeling gratitude to all the Textilers founders for organizing this enriching community session. It's really impressive. I'm impressed by the selfless and collaborative spirit of mentors working towards to uplift everyone and promote progress of everybody. So it's heartwarming to see such positive efforts. I would say this is world which is constantly evolving. We are living in the world of co-pilot now. So we need to embrace the change and innovation is essential for success. So change may seem intimidating sometimes, but it's the only source of growth and progress. Imagine a world where nothing has ever been changed. Can we imagine that? So it would be as stagnant and unexciting. But change brings new opportunities, experiences, and discoveries. So we need to break free from this ordinary and explore the extraordinary. We should think some extraordinary way and find out our path ahead. Remember, every moment of curiosity fuels our journey. Embrace challenge. They are stepping stones to success. So I would say stay curious, stay inspired, and keep thriving. I would advise we are all students and explorers of possibility. I'm grateful for this opportunity because this was learning for me as well. And mentoring was more learning journey for me. So let this momentum propel towards greatness. In the pursuit of knowledge, we will find our purpose. Together, we can repulse the positive change. Keep shining. We are a team. So come forward and just ask your questions, ask your doubts. Everybody here is to help each other. And as we are students, we have a unique advantage of being naturally curious and adaptable. We can use these qualities as our advantage, as an advantage. So we can embrace the change as a chance to learn and innovate. Be open to new ideas and experiences. Remember that many of the world's greatest achievements came from those who dared to think differently and they dared to challenge themselves. So don't fear this change. Welcome it with open arms. Embrace innovation and everybody can find a path to success that would be filled with endless possibilities. And one of the most powerful tool we have is our mind. The way we think, we can shape our reality. That's why I want to emphasize the importance of positive thinking. Be positive. Positive thinking isn't about denying the challenges or difficulties in life. It's about approaching them with constructive and optimistic mindset. So when we think positively, we can become more resilient and we can be better equipped with to face adversity. So that's the major advantage of positivity. So we can start each day with a positive affirmation, believe in your abilities and your potential, visualize your success, and let your vision drive you forward. Surround yourself with positive influencers. There are so many textile mentors on LinkedIn which influence or which who are impacting positively on us, how they are growing. We can think on that, and people who uplift and inspire you, follow them. And at some point we can have setbacks in part of our life, but they don't define our future. Instead of dwelling on those failures, we can use them as stepping stones, and which will be giving us our goals. So with positive mindset, we only not overcome obstacles, but we will also attract opportunities and success. So that would be my motto for the day. And thank you so much, Lara.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so very much for sharing with us to embrace change, challenges, stay curious, and use every opportunity to pursue knowledge and find our purpose. Thank you. I mean, we can't say. I mean, I know the time difference for you is a lot, and still, apart from the tutoring, you're still taking on some groups in the project. Thank you. Thank you so much. So for those who haven't heard or seen Jasmine yet, also called Jo, she's also a tech mentor with one of two of the groups for the project. So we appreciate you. Thank you for moving to Power BI. Our tutors are Miss Franca, Miss Gloria, Chum, Amarachi, Jacinta, and Olayinka. Olayinka's picture is not here. I apologize for skipping that. However, she's the one that is speaking to us today from that seat of data manipulation, data bending, data changing, data filtering, data sorting, everything data, because she is powerful in her own self. Thank you, Inka, for availing us this time to speak with us. We celebrate and appreciate you, Yinka.
All right. Thank you very much, Lara, and thank you to everyone for joining this call today and setting out time to do this. I'll try to keep it very brief, especially because a lot of the people who have gone ahead of me have said most of the things, and we don't have to keep repeating it really because just like Joyce said, you need to want what you want and you need to prove to yourself that you want it that badly by putting in the work that is required. And I'll latch it also with something that Blessing also said. You know, she talked about how you don't have to compare yourself with people who have been doing this for 5, 10 years. You need to give yourself grace. So finding the balance between giving yourself grace and putting in the work that is required to do what you need to do to get what you want is very important. There are just about three key points that I put on my slide that I would like to speak to, even though Lara has now taken off my slide. So, but the first thing that I will speak to is that
Sorry.
learning is a yeah, it's fine. First thing is that learning is a continuous process. And what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you're just going to continue taking courses and not working. No. It means that even after you, for example, finish your course and you get your certification and you even land a job, it doesn't mean that you then stop learning because, oh, yeah, I was doing all this to get a job and now I have a job. No, it means that you have to keep learning. You have to keep developing yourself, especially because in tech, the tech world is, when they say fast paced, is more than fast paced. Things are happening very fast, technologies are evolving. So if you don't continue learning, you're going to just become obsolete. Like all of those technologies that we use, especially Power BI, for example, that we use in data analysis, is upgraded every month. And what that means is that once it's upgraded in the next month, a new feature is added. So if you don't continue learning, you just find out that it gets to a point where you don't know half of the things that you need to do well on your job. So you need to continue learning. When we did the classes, we also shared a link to a Microsoft Learn resource that you can sort of use to continue to learn. So continue learning, and don't just say, "Oh, we're finished Tech Deep Dive and that's it." You need to continue learning and continue developing yourself. Now, while you're learning, like I was saying, there's a tendency to feel like, for example, maybe because you don't have a job, you just keep taking the courses and doing all the theory. And while the theory is good, the practical is even better, because just like exercising, practical is what strengthens your muscles. Is what builds you. It's what builds your confidence, to help you to know that, oh, I really know this thing that I'm learning in theory. When you do a practical, when you do a project, it boosts your own confidence. So it's important that as you're taking those courses, you find additional projects. I think Joy also made reference to that. In addition to the projects that has been shared with us that we're working on in our groups, find additional projects to jump on, so that you continue to exercise your muscles, you continue to practicalize all of the things that you're learning, and also strengthen your confidence. And finally, what do you need to do after you have done all of this? You need to continue to share your learnings and put your learnings out there. What sharing your learning does, and there are two things in sharing your learning. When you share your learning, you, of course, you put yourself out there and people see and know that you know what you know. The other part is you also help other people. That thing that you think is basic, that you just learned, by the time you write, maybe you write an article about it, you will be surprised somebody in some faraway country will come and say, "Oh, thank you for this article. I just used this and it also helped me." So you will be also imparting other people. You will be, of course, teaching other people, and you would, in one way, you will build your brand and you build your digital footprint. And what that means is that when you maybe apply for jobs, or when somebody is talking about you somewhere and they put your name on Google, they would find some of these articles that you've written, or they will find your profile, they will find some of this work, your experiences, your learning experiences that you spoke about. So that sort of helps you to have the kind of brand that you want to build, the kind of personal brand that you want to have, and the digital footprint that you need to achieve your career goals. Either it's getting a job, either it's getting building yourself as a thought leader, whatever those goals are, your digital footprint and how you speak about your learning experiences is what will help you achieve all of those things. So those are just I like to keep it short and sweet. So those are the tips that I will have for you, especially to build on the technical knowledge that you have gathered during the deep dive session. I'm always passionate to see you succeed, and you can find me anywhere online and send me a message if you have any questions, or any specific questions that you may not want to ask in the public here. And that's it from the data bender. Thank you.
And that's it from Data Vendor. I love the rap. I love the rap. I love the rap, Mika. Thank you. Thank you so much. Learning is continuous. Share what you are learning with other people. Talk about your experiences. In fact, Mika was giving us a snip and a peek into what we have for our graduation. She talked a lot about branding. She and some other mentors talked about branding, talking about our experiences. And for the graduation, stay. We're going to send the flyers out after this session. Stay in touch with us, because there will soon just be graduation and people who will be displaying their projects. But then we'll also be telling us about building our personal brands, being visible online, and um, subsequently we look forward to a practical session as well about optimizing our CVs, optimizing our, not beyond CVs, optimizing our portfolios. Yes. And with reference to what the tutors have said, the project that we have done, how to store it online so that when somebody can make reference to it at some point or the other. So that's just a peek into what we have for the graduation. Please don't miss it. Invite your friend, be there, and share the news with your network. Thank you, Inka, for that, for sharing with us. We really appreciate and celebrate you. Thank you so much for giving us this time. Madam Franca is on a call. However, I'll do a brief. She has a lot to talk to us about. She's into Power BI. She has some trainings also going on. She's a certified Microsoft trainer. She does Scrum, data analysis, Agile, and let me tell you, she's one of the students as well in this cohort with all of this that she's learning and that she knows. She's also a student with data security and Copilot. So, like Inka has said, learning never ends. We always learn. We're always moving on to learning as much as possible. Thank you, Madam Franca, for also making yourself available for us. For Azure, we have Tosin and Titi who will be speaking with us today. So we'll have Tosin speak first, and then we'll have Titi speak to us just after Tosin. Thank you, Tosin. Let's hear from Titi while we get Tosin ready. Smiley Titi.
Yes. Yes. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yes, I just want to, I know the past speaker have said a lot already, and in order not to just prolong the discussion or keep repeating ourselves, right? I will try to summarize what I have for you. But first, I want to sincerely congratulate every single one of you that's stayed to the end. It's been like 10 to 12 weeks. That's what it's going to be in total. So congratulations for staying to the end of the program. For those of you that stayed, when it comes to the project aspect, a lot of people kind of dropped off. They ran away, and we had a few of them that really showed dedication. They were relentless. They were really, really, really hungry for knowledge. And there's something I saw even during the classes. I saw the way they were so hungry for knowledge. They were pushing themselves, pushing and pushing and pushing. And that kind of gingered me. That kind of encouraged me to want to be available for them at all time. I was practically looking into my email, practically looking in the Discord channel, practically looking out for any other mentor that will call out my attention to assist them. I was practically doing that. And what pushed me was the level of commitment that I saw in some of them. So I will encourage you to continue with that level, continue with that level of commitment. A lot of you that joined this program were switching from another field to tech, while some of you are just starting afresh. It's not going to be a very easy journey it's not going to be easy. But perseverance is something that you can embrace. If you are able to persevere, if you are able to keep pushing, if you are able to encourage yourself, one thing I tell people is you have to determine in yourself that you really want this, because it's going to be tough. Like they have said, the tech space is, technology is evolving, technology is changing, new things are coming out. So you will find yourself in a situation where you are yet to master one, and something else or an update or upgrade is already out. You have to begin the process of unlearning and then to start relearning. So I want to encourage you to ensure that you are always doing that. For those of us that are actually transitioning from into tech space, maybe you don't have any tech experience before. Like I said, it's going to be tough. But some of the things that is going to help you, Joyce said a few things about it, and I'm just going to reiterate. When it comes to learning, it's a lifelong process. Learning does not stop. Learning stop when we stop breathing. So learning is a continuous process. You must be able to embrace it. You must have an open mind to say you want to keep learning. Also, they have also said, connect to community. Learn to connect with people. You have mentor in this current community that you are. You have LinkedIn. Connect with people. Try as much as possible, whether you want to start things like a mini blog, like Yinka said. So just expose yourself out there. The reason for the project that we gave is to give you some level of confidence, is to help you boost your confidence to a certain level that when you want to go look for job, you're already job ready. This is the first time we are doing that kind of thing in Tech Mentor, in Textile, and we want you to continue to nurture the technical knowledge that you have already gained. Then another thing is experience. A lot of people, if you listen to Joy's story, she started from somewhere. Every single one of us started from somewhere. I remember when I was starting like 11 years ago, I didn't even have opportunity that you have today. There was no mentor. You know, you might have one or two people that say, okay, start this, but there was really no one to say, okay, let's sit down. What is it that you want? Let us help you channel it. So it was hard for us learning far back 10 years ago. It was really tough. But it's easy today because you have a lot of resources. You have resources everywhere, free. And something I used to tell people is, when you hit a roadblock, that problem, that challenge that you are just facing right now, somebody somewhere has faced it before. You're not the first person to be facing it. All you need to do is put in the right keyword on your browser in Google, and it's going to bring it out for you. And the best thing that has also happened to us is the AI. ChatGPT can help you to get a lot of resources that you don't know you could get your hands on. So make sure you embrace all of those things. Try, if you have opportunity to do mentorship, to volunteering for things, you don't have to be. Some people will say, okay, I will not be doing all of that and no pay. We know it's tough in Nigeria today, but it is something that is going to help you to grow and strengthen your hands further. Please, can we go to the next slide? Thank you. Okay, so from the session, from the various classes and from the projects, I see a lot of effort. You have completed the lectures. One of the other things I want to advise you is validate your knowledge as well by taking certification if you are ready. Now, when you are ready, for you, the lecture you have here is not enough. So you need to do a whole lot of research, a whole lot of study, a whole lot of reading. Like Yinka said, when we were having classes with you, we shared with you a lot of resources, including Microsoft Learn. Revisit the Microsoft Learn. Go to the certification page. understand the structure of the exam, understand the format in which they appear, and then that way you are able to know how you plan your study. Now, try to get some practice sample questions that you can do. There are free questions now with Microsoft that can help you to know exactly where you are. When you do those things, you will see it will give you even option, it will give you result on the areas you need to work more. Focus on those weak areas. But sometimes we focus on weak area, and then at the end of the day forget about the strong one that we already built before. So it means you have to be able to keep the balance. You have to be able to watch out for, okay, while I'm focusing here, I don't want to be left out in this other aspect again, or I don't want to start the study cycle all over again. So make sure while you are focusing on the weak point, make sure you also refer to the strong aspect of it. Robert Kobler said, Collier rather said, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in, day out. So it's not a big bang. It's not something you read and then you feel, yes, I've mastered it, I've gotten it, and that is the end. No, it's something that you have to continue to practice over and over and over again for you to actually master it. Finally, one of the things you also have to do is to keep forging ahead. Remember that the program here is not in totality. It has only given you a stepping stone to the possibilities that you can explore within the IT space. So make sure that you continue learning and keep your feelings, keep feeding yourself with curiosity. Never stop learning. Always feel free to seek support from the community, as we have said. Helena said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Sometimes we dream. We have dreamers and we have dreamers. There are dreamers who just dream and they never make any effort to achieve their dream. But we have dreamers who dream. They sit down to plan, set goal on how they are going to achieve, how they are going to actualize their dream. And they follow it through. They follow through, monitoring every step of the way. Be the second type of dreamer who dreams and watches. Even sometimes it can take us 1 year, 2 years, even 5 years to really fulfill the dream. But when you start with a mini step or a baby step and you don't stop there, then you continue to flourish. You can grow. You can grow. I know maybe I've over spent my time, but keep dreaming, keep learning, keep aspiring. And then if you continue with the level of passion that I saw during the classes, during the project period, you are going to do great in life. So thank you. That's all from me. Lara, over to you.
Thank you so much, Titi. Hello? Titi, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for carrying Azure, Microsoft Azure as your baby. Thank you for your feedback, for responding, for your standalone project that was carried, that has been in progress so far. What Titi has mentioned with regards to the next milestone, with regards to validating learning, taking the exams. So we'll be sharing assessment questions with us, just so within the week, just so that we can test our knowledge before we get into the real exams and see how ready we are. We are grateful to one of our sponsors that have given us the platform for the assessments, just so that we we can study it, do the exam. So it's a simulation of the exam. Do the exam, the Microsoft exam for either Power BI, Power Apps, the Power Platform, or the Azure or security. So just so we can test the knowledge we have gotten. The exams are the fundamentals that we've gone through in these past weeks. So we'll be sharing that with us. While we're sharing that with us, we also would expect us to upload the results we get, because it will feed into our certificates, it will feed into our learning journey and our database. So please take some time to study and then do the assessments that will be sent to your emails. It's 50 questions, and there's a time limit for the practice exam. So we'll be sharing that with us during the week. Please look into your emails, look out for your emails, and look out for that from us. This is another plus from us, preparing us for the exams and trying to help ourselves so that we don't spend thousands of money registering for the exams and not acing it at once sitting. We want all of us to ace it at once and share our certificates as soon as we get them. Thank you so much, City, for highlighting that. I will talk a bit about Amina. She started as a graphic designer in tech, and then right now she's aiming to be a VR specialist, as virtual reality specialist and designer. That's her goal. That's her aim. For those of us that were in the UI UX track, we've experienced Amina firsthand. The fact that she wants us to do practical, hands-on practical, we're having assignments. She's asking for feedback. We can't have the class on Saturday. We'll have it on Sunday, just so that we can learn within this space and time. She started her journey in 2018 actually. So we saved her presentation and Rachel's presentation for the very last. She started her journey in 2018, and she didn't really start much until 2021. And today she's a mentor. So she's about 3 year old in the industry. She's a mentor, she's a tutor, and this is her LinkedIn. We'll see some of her works there. We'll see some of her works also in her portfolio. So we appreciate her and celebrate her, even in absentia. And please reach out to her if you are considering your UX, or if you are considering designing, because that's one of the things she's very passionate about. So now we'll hear from Rachel, who we have put as the icing on the cake. And there's a lot to say about Rachel. However, we would allow her blow her trumpet, and we'll allow her share her journey from being a student in about 2 years ago to now being a mentor and a community builder. Thank you, Rachel.
Hi, Lara. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining. I think the call is echoing. I don't know if it's from my end. Okay,
Right,
hi.
I think, yeah, I'll help you to mute the person that is on.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Lara. And I'm happy to be here. My name is Rachel Rabo. I started my journey into Power Platform November 2021, and I started my work experience career wise. That was in 2022 December. So it has, and now we're in 2024. So it's been a journey, and it's been amazing since then. When I started my journey into Power Platform, I started as a student. Like, I had no idea of what I wanted to be or what career path I wanted to go for. I was actually studying industrial mathematics, and it was not the course that I actually applied for. I was studying industrial mathematics in the University of Benin. It was not the course I applied for. I applied for a applied for engineering, but I was given industrial mathematics. I applied for petroleum or civil engineering, and I was given industrial mathematics. So that's where I started from. And being in industrial mathematics, I actually had no idea of, because it was not what I planned for. And even with going for engineering, I had no idea of what I wanted to do with it. But I just knew that I love building and different stuff. It just caught my interest and I wanted to go for engineering, but being given industrial mathematics, so I was confused even when I got to my final year, because it was in my final year that I got to know about Power Platform. I also got to know about tech, because even in that particular period, I actually had no idea about like careers in tech. I was seeing a lot of things, but I was not as exposed as I am right now. I had no idea that tech had a lot of careers, and it's something that anybody can come into. It's not that high mountain that nobody can cross. So being able to, from attending a boot camp that was in October 2021, from attending the boot camp, and after attending a Power Platform boot camp, I got to the point that I had no idea of what I was still confused, because I was seeing a lot of people in, especially in the Nigerian community, I was seeing a lot of people who were actually doing data, more of data than Power Platform. And then I switched from Power Platform into data. I was trying to learn data. I started learning Python. I even started doing 100 days of code in Python. I started learning how to build like dashboards and stuff like that. But it was not really something that I wanted to do. And even that period, I was stressed because I was writing exams. And I was doing that 100 days of code. I wanted to be consistent on it. So I had to be going from ninth class to classes, spend the whole day in school, and then come back home, stay like an hour, 2 hours, and then go back to school again. So it was very stressful. And I asked myself one day that, Rachel, what have you learned from this? Like, do you have anything to show that you actually even have the basic knowledge about Python? And I had nothing to show. And even somebody reached out to me on Twitter, because then I was already sharing my knowledge about, like, I was sharing my learning about Python every day on Twitter. I was following the 100 days of Python hashtag. Somebody reached out to me and asked me, Rachel, are you doing data, or you are doing Python, or you are doing are you doing Power Platform, or you are doing data? I was like, okay, if somebody can reach out to me and ask me this question, something actually led to that question. But if somebody can actually ask me this question, I mean, even people are confused. They don't know, they don't know where I am. So I had to like ask myself, because I was not really that motivated being in data and with everything happening. So I was like, okay, I want to go for a Power Platform. And then I had the opportunity of seeing textiles, and I joined cohort 3. We are currently in cohort 5. So I joined cohort 3 and started learning Power Platform. I joined the Power Platform classes, and that was on Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Visual Agent. So I joined the cohort, and it was even Foyin that introduced it to me, because I was already speaking to her during the after the boot camp. During the boot camp, they showed a video of Foyin where she was talking about her journey, talking about introducing Power Platform to the bank she was working then. So I was very, very motivated. And then joining the textilers cohort, and I got to see a lot of people who were actually like, I was seeing a lot of people like they're actually learning Power Platform. I got to see a community of people who were learning Power Platform. So it was very, very motivating being able to see people like yourself actually learning this particular technology, because I was coming from a background where I had no idea about tech. I had no idea of who I wanted to be or what career path was for me. And then from that particular point, even before the textiles cohort, I already made up my mind that I want to I want to come into the Power Platform career path, and I started holding Twitter spaces, inviting people in the community. I started following people online that had Power Platform on their that had Power Platform hashtag. They were using Power Platform hashtag to post. That had it on their profile. I started following everybody on Power Platform just to have the community around, just to have a lot of people who were actually doing Power Platform. And in that particular point, in this was early 2022, in that particular point, I actually had no idea of how okay, I had no idea of how it looked like working with this particular technology. Power Platform is very, very interesting. You get to build solutions with Power Platform, you get to build flows, you get to build applications, and you get to do a lot of amazing things with Power Platform. But I actually had no idea of, okay, how is it going to look like actually working in a business environment? And I reached out to Antiphony and Azure, Mary, and April Donna. That was the first Twitter space I had. And I told them that I want to know how their day-to-day looks like how are they actually, I want to know how they are working with this particular tool. And for me then, Power Apps was not that popular then in Nigeria. It was more of Power BI. At least me, at least to my own knowledge, it was not as popular as it is right now. So I wanted to actually know how it looked, how they were actually working with these platforms. And I felt that, okay, with me having these questions, I think that other people too also have the same questions that I do. And then I started holding Twitter spaces, invited them to the Twitter space. If you don't know what a Twitter space is, it's something like this, but it's more public. It's on Twitter. You just have to create it, and people can easily join the call. And it's not video, it's just audio. So people can easily just join the call. So I started from there. That was where I started from. And then joining the Textilers Cohort 3, working on being able to learn and also having the opportunity to reach out to mentors to ask questions, because then I had a lot of questions. And also building on working on assignments and also building on personal projects at the side, and also giving the opportunity to actually reach out to anyone in the community, textilers community, to ask them questions, especially when I had like errors, I was stuck, I did not know how to actually move forward with that particular problem. So one thing that has helped me throughout my journey is that, because if I start sharing it, it's going to take a whole day. But one thing that has helped me throughout my journey is that I'm not only working on my technical skills, but I'm also working on my I'm also working on my soft skills, because with me starting my journey from where it was and now, I was not a very good public speaker. I had issues with actually communicating clearly. Even before I started into tech, that was the way I was. I had issues with being able to communicate clearly. I had issues with listening. You can be speaking to me. We can be in a particular point and you're speaking to me and I'm not really hearing what you're saying. So I had a lot of things that when I started my journey in tech, and I felt that, okay, these are actually my weaknesses. These are the things I need to work on. And I started working on them. I started working on my soft skills alongside my technical skills, worked on public speaking, worked on being able to communicate clearly with people, worked on being an active listener. Then that's when you're speaking to me, I have to make sure that I'm in that particular point where you are speaking. Or if it's taking me so hard, I start writing. If you are speaking, I try to write as much as possible in order to be able to follow what you are saying. And also, I took a lot of courses online, especially on LinkedIn. I took a lot of courses. And there's one thing that my mom, or my dad, they say is that you have to try to learn the good in people. Like, you have to try to learn the good in people. So I learned from people from afar. You don't have to reach out to people and ask questions or ask them to be your mentor before you can learn from them. I learned from people from afar, saw the things they were doing, the way they were contributing, either contributing to the community or trying to change their life or different things. And also something I also worked on myself was loving myself, because I had a lot of doubts. Imposter syndrome was my regular visitor, and it's still my regular visitor, but it's different than what it was before, because then it was very difficult for me to handle it. I I started working on myself, working on my weaknesses, I started speaking at events 3 months, 2 months into my career in tech. I started speaking at events. Somebody actually reached out to me on Twitter and said that that was the first event like international event I spoke at. It was virtually. The person reached out to me and the person was like, "Ah, Rachel, I've been stalking you everywhere, and I'm seeing what you are doing, like the way you're sharing your journey and also contributing to the community." So, and they invited me to speak at the Power Addict community. It's a user group called Power Addict. It's in the US, but it's a virtual event. So that was the first international event that I spoke at. And from there, I started speaking at different events. Even the boot camp I attended, the first boot camp I attended on Power Platform, I went back, and because when I was learning then, I felt that I was not actually getting, I felt that I needed to approach my learning in a different way, because I was not really seeing so much changes from when I started and where I was. So I actually reached out to the boot camp and I was like, okay, I want to be a part of the people actually contributing to this community. And I joined. The first bootcamp they did, when I joined, I was not able to speak because then I was still not very good at speaking. Had stage fright. I had stage fright. I'm also very shy, so I had stage fright, and so I was not able to speak at the first event when I joined. But the second event, I was able to actually teach on Power Apps. So that's, yeah. So my journey is a lot, but everything I've learned is that being able to speak to people, issues I also had was being able to maybe attending an event, maybe a physical event, being able to communicate with people. Like when you have so many thoughts going through your head, okay, I don't want to say the wrong things, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. I had to work on myself. And how I worked on myself with being able to talk to people, like being able to talk to people one on one, because I had a lot of issues with that when I was scared. I don't want to say the wrong thing that will offend people. I started attending physical events, and then I volunteered as a position where you have to talk to people, like registration, where you have to stand and then register people, like where you have to stand and scan people into the boot camp or into the events. So I started any events I attend, even now, any events I attend, I always make sure that I'm actually volunteering in that event. And the position I'm volunteering in is a place that I can speak to people, just to, and like an opportunity for me to continue working on myself. So another thing that I've learned through my journey is being able to understand, because people are going through a lot when you reach out to them and they're not able to respond. Because I've seen a lot of people, even when I started my journey, when somebody reached out to me, I wasn't able to respond. The person insulted me. But people are going through a lot, you understand? And so you have to learn to be patient, have empathy for people, and also try and network. A lot of people, they look at it like networking, but I look at it differently. I look at networking differently. You just have to make friends with people around you, make friends with people in your community, and also make friends with people outside of your community, because to be sincere, you don't know who will help you in the future. So just make friends with people. And most times people look down on, especially on Twitter, I see a lot of people, they look down on people who have very low followers on Twitter. But those people that have low followers on Twitter, you don't know who they are. So also try and be careful with your online presence. Try and be careful with your online presence. You don't have to be in, just be careful with your online presence, and also make sure to also have an online presence. And don't let where you are currently be a standing block. You might have an issue, because even me, when I started my journey, I did not have a good laptop then. for me to be able to use my laptop, I had to go to for me to be able to use my laptop, I had to go to for me to even on the laptop and use it, I had to actually either go to school or go to a salon or walk from because I was staying in Ugbowo. So Ugbowo is like an area in Benin, in the University of Benin. I had to walk around everywhere to look for anybody that had lights in order to use my laptop, because sometimes I for like a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there'll be no lights. So I not don't let any situation that you're having be a roadblock. You can share about it, because I was sharing about the issues I was having then, and someone actually reached out to me and they told me the kind of laptop I can get and sent me money to get a laptop. And that was the first laptop that I got that actually was working, that I could use without lights. And then I was even already like 6 months into my journey by that time when I got that laptop. So don't let anything that's holding you back be a roadblock. You might have issues with data, like getting data, because even me then I had issues with getting data. I'm not from a rich home, so I had issues with getting data. There are some days that I had to choose between getting food and getting data, because even the data in Nigeria does not really last. You can just buy data and within a day the data, everything is over, and you have to start searching for money again to get another data. So stuff like that. And there's somebody I recently spoke to that, or I listened to, and the person spoke about having a blog, or having a blog, having a podcast, or having something that you're just sharing your knowledge. It might not be something so like so that might not be something so like advanced. Just you can invite people and they will just talk about a particular technology. And he said, I've not really looked at it that way. I've been sharing my journey from a very long time, from the beginning of when I started my journey into Power Platform. Even when I switched to data, I was still sharing my journey. And he spoke about how writing a blog post, how having a podcast is his own CV. Like that is his CV. I've not really looked at it that way. That was his CV. His name is Scott Hanselman. He said that was his CV. Him having a podcast, him having a blog where he writes, and him also having a social media presence. That is his CV. Because a lot of people, they actually, apart from even having a knowledge about the technology you are doing, a lot of people, they try to check your online presence. They try to look at your what you are sharing online and gauge it, that okay, this is the amount of knowledge that you have, that you okay, yeah, so like you have so much knowledge, you understand this technology and stuff like that. And one other thing you have to do is that you have to make sure that you value yourself. Don't let your environment be your roadblock. Apart from looking for local opportunities, like if you are in Nigeria and you're looking for just local opportunities, also try to look for also international opportunities. You should not have the mindset that okay, because I'm seeing so many posts on Twitter where people are talking about international opportunities, actually trying to trick people and stuff like that. Still try and make yourself everywhere. Don't just limit yourself to where you are at that particular point. So also try to make yourself available. Try to create an email, because this was an advice I got when I was still learning. Like I had no job opportunity. Like I was not working then. I was even scared of even looking for a job, because I felt that I did not have the knowledge yet to start looking for a job. And I was speaking to Mary, and she told me that I needed to. She was just talking to me about, like, she was just advising me and telling me that I need an email, like an email where, okay, I shared my email with her. She asked for my email and I shared my email with her. She then said I needed a better email, that this one I had, that had Richie Babe, that I need to change it. It has to be my name, like either Rachel Irabo or Rachel.Irabo at any email I want to use, that it looks more professional. I need to have an email I need to guide my social media presence because it's very important, because I don't know who is watching me. You might be doing something, you don't know, you might be doing something and you feel that that thing you're doing is very little, like, it does not, you're just doing your own, but people are looking at you, especially when you're on social media. People are looking at you from different parts of the world. So you just have to be careful with your social media presence, because if you even get a job opportunity, if you get an offer or anything you get, definitely they are definitely going to check you online. They're going to search your name online and see what you are doing, try to see how your social media presence looks like. And even when I started my journey, I started my learning journey in November, and I already started an interview in I got the job I am currently doing. I think that was in April, January, February, March, April. I think that was in April. I got the job I'm currently doing in April, May, before I had to process my visa. And I'm currently in Malta. I'm a Nigerian, but I'm in Malta working at a Microsoft partner company, and my job title is on Dynamics 365 CRM. So I work on Power Platform and Dynamics. So just set yourself up for international opportunities. Don't let where you are be your limitation. Work on your soft skills. It's very important. There's something I say all the time, is that your soft skills is going to take you further than your technical skills. And imagine having those two things together, having a soft skill and having a soft skill and then having a technical skill. Because even in your day-to-day job, you also need a soft skill. You also, like in Power Platform, you need to know how to approach a business problem. You need to know how to do presentations. You need to know how to communicate with your team. You need to know so many things. And those are soft skills that you actually need. So if you have soft skills and you have technical skills, it's going to take you a very long way. It's going to take you a very long way in life. And as you're working on yourself, also try to work on I think I'm taking a very long time. Okay. Also try to work on imposter syndrome. Those things that are making you unhappy, those things that are making you unhappy, that are making you feel sad. Try to check yourself. Okay, what is happening? Why am I feeling this way? And if you check yourself, you'll be able to understand what the issue is, what imposter syndrome, what's the cause of this imposter syndrome. It's because of the imposter syndrome being that I think that I have little knowledge on this platform. I've been learning for some while now, but I'm not seeing any difference. It's the imposter syndrome that I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have this, I don't have that. This learning this technology is hard, stuff like that. Check yourself. If the reason of the imposter syndrome is something that you can work on, like maybe having you are seeing that the knowledge you are getting is not as you have expected, try and check, okay, what's the reason for this? How can I resolve this? If it's something that you cannot work on that is causing the imposter syndrome, just nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Just love yourself and just be yourself. As you are continuing with your journey, these are the things that has helped me so far. You need to love yourself. It's very important. Be your biggest supporter, because nobody will wake you in the night, or nobody will wake you in the morning and tell you that go and read your book or build this project or do that. You have to do all of this on your own. So be your biggest supporter. Also attend events. If you really want to make it in this industry, especially this tech industry, you need to attend events. You need to build a personal brand for yourself. Attend events. If you are doing Power Platform, attend Power Platform events. If you are doing UI UX, check for UI UX events around you. Even though it's visually, try to attend events. Yeah, I think I've taken a long time, so thank you very much. Hi, Lara.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah,
From here, I'm giving you virtual hugs,
thank you.
celebrating you,
Thank you very much.
appreciating you for the journey and for speaking personally to us. Rachel was one of those people who said no, she's not going to use a slide. She's going to speak directly from her heart with regards to her journey. And indeed, I don't know if very much like me, you felt the passion from her voice, because I did. And thank you, Rachel. for all that you do in the community, personally, and loving yourself. We really appreciate you for this time. Thank you. So now we are rounding off the meeting, we're wrapping up the meeting, but before then, we'll have to call MJ to speak to us and to conclude the meeting with us. Along the line, we've taken some of the announcements. Graduation, first week in August, 3rd of August, we'll be having portfolio portfolio building, branding. We're having our project displayed. Today is the day for those of us that are in project group. Today is the day to upload our projects online. Today is the day. Today is the day that we're uploading our projects. All of these fantastic projects that we have been working on, so that we can get feedbacks and get better with all of the learning that we have been doing. Some people didn't have all of the tracks during their projects, represented during their projects, but yes, the resources you have been able to use, let us know, so that during grading we can take that into consideration as we grade. Let us know your team members in your PowerPoint or your video. Yes, include a PowerPoint so that we can see the team members that were active, so that have to grade you. If there was no UI UX, can take into consideration that okay, maybe just Power Platform people worked together. So this fantastic project in Azure and Power Platform. So these are the soft skills we are testing that we have shared with us already. And part of the things that we have mentioned during the course of this presentation, and our mentor speaking with us and speaking to us. So technical skills and soft skills are mostly things that we are testing and evaluating. And we also want to let you know that these are some of the exams that we can prepare ourselves for in our learning track. Power BI, Azure, Microsoft Azure, Power Platform, Microsoft Data Security. These are some of the exams that we can start preparing ourselves for after we get the assessment sent to us. So at this point, I'll call Jumi. MJ. She says not Michael Jackson. MJ. Jumoke, please, you can proceed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you to all our mentors. I mean, I really appreciate everyone. One of the things I want to say is that I feel very fulfilled and very proud, to be honest. I can remember a few days. Well, I will leave that to when we're supposed to talk. Lara has warned me that I only have 5 minutes, so I have to really maximize my 5 minutes. My principal, Omolara, has told me I should be still within 5 minutes. And I want to appreciate every single person. I mean, the tech mentors, you've been very awesome. Lara, I cannot appreciate you enough. I mean, you are too awesome. It's today that I'm feeling what you feel. I mean, right now, people will think that somebody is NRC, belongs to the NRC. You're waking up in the middle of the night where people are speaking, and then you're organizing this, doing all of this. I'm actually really, really, really glad to have met you. All of you, I'm really happy to meet every one of you. And so I'm not going to, I just want to quickly highlight a bit of the things that each of the speakers have spoken. I'll just touch on some of the things. Joy talked about relationship. You cannot overemphasize the need for that in your tech journey. If I start to tell you how I met Ellie today, our global president, it's funny. We were in a tech session together and then we got bonded, and I told Ellie, oh, we run this thing on for women. Would you be interested? And then she just came on board. And today you can see how early, I mean, I'm talking about global president, how it has transformed. Lara will call me and say, "Hey, MJ, there's this. Do we have a speaker for this, or do we have a the students are complaining. They're saying, oh, these about terms, they need guidance on all of this." I could just reach to my network in 1 minute and then just call people. And then I should be grateful to them. And yet they're grateful to me for giving them the opportunity to mentor. I can tell you the project mentors that came on board to start helping you took less than 30 minutes to speak with them, just to, oh guys, please, I need help here. We have this. And they were so eager. They felt it was like an opportunity for them to give back. It's all about the relationship. I'll talk about Andy that came the other day for the project delivery. I mean, the project management lesson is all about the relationship and ensuring that you're giving back. This platform, if there is any lesson you want to take from it, is the fact that all of this that has revolves around keeping relationship and ensuring that you can give back when it is time. So please take this to heart. They talk about the social media. I mean, what's her name? Rachel talked about social media. I used to tell people something. I said, use the social media to your advantage. I'll be more interested in going to a Twitter page of someone that I'm always saying, oh, I did this dashboard. And please, can you guys criticize and give me feedback? I came up with this design. I have connected with people and I have found skills on WhatsApp just by viewing people's WhatsApp status. It is good for you to show your face. It is good for you to show, oh, take pictures and then do this, or get into Twitter and join some conversation. But I would say use social media to your advantage. Join Twitter space that is productive for you. Come at the end of the day, sit down and say to yourself, do a retrospection concerning your journey and tell yourself, what have I achieved today? What have I done? What platform or what interaction have I gotten myself in today that has been productive for my career journey? You may not want to do it on a weekly basis. You may want to do it on a monthly basis. You may not want to do it on a daily basis. You may want to do it on a quarterly basis. That's the definition of progress. A lot of us did not have it so interesting. All of the mentors have said it. Coming up, we didn't at all. We did not have it. I could remember all of those brand desktops. I will arrange it. The space for the leg room that I have was not. If you look at the space for my leg underneath my table in the office, I have all of those desktops under it. I have a desktop for AD, a desktop for Exchange, a desktop for SharePoint, a desktop for this. And then I will try and crash. I will create problem for myself, crash it again, try it all over again. So even if you make you up from sleep, I know what stage you will be. Or even if it got to a point that the technology was like we're communicating. Once something goes wrong, I can have engineers working on it for days and probably not just get there. I know God is in it quite all right, but it won't take me long to say I just figure it out. Because I have practiced over and over and over again. You can actually take at what stage a Windows installation will be starting. Those are the things you need to get yourself encouraged. I know this is for the mentors. I'm not meant to talk really, but I just felt I want to touch on some of those things. When you talk about imposter syndrome, Rachel has talked about it, but my dear, I used to tell people things. This is what I say. Question the authenticity of that which is making you afraid or slowing you down. Do some sort of self-conversation with yourself. Ask yourself, is there any truth in this thing that is telling me I can't move forward? Sometimes I ask myself, I tell that feeling to say, okay, give me an example of people that has failed in moving forward in doing this. And then I realized within myself that it is just that imposter syndrome trying to do what slow me down. So what do I do? Since I cannot find the truth in that feeling, I launch out whichever way. And I may fail, but it's okay. I can fail doing that thing, but it is okay that I'm learning while I'm failing and I'll get it right somehow. So those are the things I want to tell you. And again, please take time around goal setting, around career growth. Identify your goals in life. Stay accountable to those goals. You stay accountable by doing what? Drawing strategies, tactics on how you want to do what? Achieve those goals. And at the end of the day, maintain it, sustain it. And lastly, if we all stop here without saying anything, without talking, one of the things I used to tell people is that time doesn't start still. Let us all keep quiet just for a few minutes. You'll find out that the time is still ticking. And so make time your best ally. And then in life, I used to tell people the sky is your starting point. Make time your best ally. It waits for nobody. It is not just a saying. Make time your best ally. What you're doing today, waking up, doing all of this, it will pay off at the end of the day. Just stay true to it. And that's my encouragement to everyone. Lara, I'm so sorry, but I take more than your 5 minutes. But I'm done. Thank you. Lara, I'm done. It's you that is not talking now.
Thank you very much, MG. Thank you. I love that part where he said, question the authenticity of the fear, of the worry. I'm tying it to what Joy said about Rachel. Even if there is a no, inside the no, you'll find a yes. Somewhere, somehow. This session has been emotional for me and has been very passionate. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to the participants. Thank you to our community members. Thank you to mentors, the tech mentors in absentia. That's the project mentors, Toby, Kai, and Kayode, who joined us in over a phone call. Thank you so very much to everyone that has made this a success, to the executives of Textilers. I would like to use the opportunity to tell us if you would like to volunteer with Textilers. We have a form that will be sent to our emails together with the assessment. You can fill the form anonymously and we'll get back to you. We'll reach out to you so that if you are looking for an opportunity to give back in some way, you're looking for an opportunity to learn more, the community is open. I trust and I hope that we have all joined the community so that we can stay connected and stay in touch with all the information that is going on, inspirational sessions, conference, freebies that are available for Microsoft community and every other tech community that our mentors belong. I hope while part of the community will share we've shared the community link in case we're not part of the community and are just participants in the tech deep dive. So don't let us stop here and let us continue to embrace ourselves. So we'll take Q&A very, very briefly with regards to project or with regards to I'm taking fastest fingers. We're taking five questions with regards to maybe you want to ask a mentor a question or you want to ask a last minute question regarding projects that we're uploading today. So we'll do that very briefly in the next 10 minutes because we've gone over time a bit. apologize for that. So please, within now 10 minutes, if you have questions, or if you have with regards to projects or questions with regards to a particular mentor, please would like to see raise of hands. I can see one hand up. Okay. Should we start with the one person? Yes, Odayo, there is already attendance that has been taken. We'll start with one person. Maybe one person is going to is going to help us remember the questions we want to ask. So, Obiero or Nome, please.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Lara George. My our Discord channel after to will it be kind of shut down, or we still have access to the Discord channel? Then, as regards the project, just wanted to be double sure if we are to upload, project, we have to embed the power to the project. Like my group, we just did like a mini video showing how our app functions. So are we to just PowerPoint and upload, or what to upload just the project itself? That's the app. Thank you.
Okay,
Do you want me to take that?
We'll take the questions and we'll take the answers together in case there are similar questions. Debbie.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm so privileged to be part of this. The way I joined is interesting. MJ will know, but I'm very, very, very grateful to be part of this. And I want to say a very big thank you to the co-organizers and all the mentors. It actually has been a very rigorous, will I say, last 8 weeks. It has not been very easy for me, for my kind of person, but I think perseverance has brought me this far. In fact, my son is writing common entrance today. How I'm on this call is what I don't know, but I think that is part of what we are learning. What I want to ask is, will the Microsoft 365 platform still be available for us to be able to practice? Because there's no point if we've learned all of this, just as we've been told by other mentors, that we still need to keep on practicing so that everything we have learned in these last weeks will not just fizzle out like that. And if we are not going to have access to it, is there any means whereby which we'll be able to get to know how to have access to it so that we can keep on practicing, and we'll also be able to go through other learning tracks and then practice what they were taught there too? That's my question.
Very valid questions from Debbie and Anome. Thank you. Rukayat, please.
Thank you so much for this session. Thank you, Lara. Thank you so much to everyone that have spoken to us. It has really been impactful. I'm just looking forward to the rebranded me going forward. Thank you so much. It's more like everything is just directed at me. There's so much to grab, and thank you so much. I'm just so privileged to be a part of this session and the entire cohort this year. Thank you. So my question about the project delivery is that, please, can you still hear me, Lara? Can you still hear me? Just to confirm, I'm not speaking to myself.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma. Okay, so my question about the project delivery is that, I am part of the Azure track. So our project is to implement an Azure storage solution and to ensure data security. So I wanted to know, how do we present our delivery? Can we do screenshots of every step, or is there another way that we are supposed to submit it? Because what we have currently is screenshots of every step of the configuration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rukayat, for the question. MJ, over to you. We do not have any hands up anymore. So we're not taking any other question. Any other question, please put in the chat and we'll respond by chat verbally. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. So the first person, Ovieru, I mean, please, if I or Onome, if I murder your name, forgive me ahead of time. So, what you need to do, I think you've done the right thing. You have the option, to be honest, there are two options you have there. You can do a mini video for us with your, maybe you save it as a video file, and then a PowerPoint slide also. If you have those two, you're fine to go. Also, the other option is that you can have your PowerPoint slide and then embed the video inside your PowerPoint slide, and that is okay. So for every one of you, if you feel comfortable doing the PowerPoint slide, we just want you to walk us through your solution. Just give us a brief about the application you've built and all of that, and then the things you've done, and then show us how it works. You can have that video embedded in the PowerPoint slides, but if you have the video separately, uploaded to the location, no problem. So what we intend to do is this: to make life easier for you. We are considering, but Lara will send the links to you if we decide that you should upload to a central location. All we'll just do for you is that we'll create a group folder for each of you, and then you can upload to it. However, we're still considering whether we want you rather to upload to your own site and then we'll go pick the file from it, because Lara has access to every of the sites of the tenants. We can say upload it to where your file is and we'll pick it from it, or we'll give you a location. So but that is not something that is a showstopper. So yes, Joy, I think you have your hands up. We'll rather let you know that before the end of the day. I'm sure, what's the time now? This is 11. By maybe before 3, you get the links in all of your group. That's one. And then to the person that has Debbie, thank you. If I want to be sure if Debbie is because the voice sounds like but I'm not too sure whether she's the same person. So that I'm sure that she's the one speaking. So for Debbie, we realize the fact that you will still need the tenant for you to be able to work. So we are willing to have you run your project on the tenant for the next 6 months. Please, from the next 6 months, you can still use it. We intend to have you leave it, but I don't know for Azure, for Power, but for the Power Platform, we can have you use it for the next 6 months. The reason why we say for the next 6 months is because we're going to start another cohort, and that same tenant is what we will use for another cohort. So we expect that by the time you use it now, you will be done with it by close of the year, and then we can wipe out everything that is there for the new set of people that will be coming next year. So yes, you can, but make use of it before in the next 6 months. Yeah. Okay, so I think the other question is for Titi, and I'm sure Titi will be able to answer that. For Joy, Joy, I don't know, is there something you want to add to what I've said?
Yes, sorry, I just want to quickly add to the lady who asked about how they will present their project. So one thing that I know about when you're presenting projects is the judges might want to, and I'm not in the team that is judging, but off my head, I'm like, they want to understand how you arrived at the decisions that you took, because whoever is presenting, while you're going to be showing screenshots, you probably want to do a background information as to how you analyzed the project that you were given and arrived at what you needed to do and why you needed to do that. All of those things are the technical, as much as they are not the actual implementation, they are the things that form the technical decision, and most times that's what people are looking out for. So within yourself as a team, understand, why did we decide to, I'm just giving an example, why did we decide to create a virtual machine versus a web apps? Why did we decide that we need to put in a resource group and put XYZ? when you're explaining those things, it makes the person know that you understand it. So it doesn't matter if they give you another scenario, you will know how to dissect it. So that's just some free tips for you and the
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, Joy, for that. Yes, exactly.
Eh,
Let's go.
eh,
Yeah,
Thank you.
Titi.
Yes, yes, she has actually answered the question for us. So that's the way it works. But for the Azure is the one I wanted to speak about. That's in terms of the tenant being available. That will not be available because of credit. We are unable to secure credit for you to continue running it. And even if we are able to get credit, it's just going to be lasting like a month, and we have to source again for how we'll get another credit to last you for another month, and so on like that. So that involves some form of monetary commitment that we cannot, the textile cannot handle at this time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Titi. So yes, just ensure, like we said, make use of the time for the M365. For the for the M365 participants, just make use of the time for the tenants. However, for the Azure people, please, I know it's, but you can actually make that investment. All they need is a credit card. Titi, please correct me if that is not
Yes,
possible.
yes,
All
a
the,
US credit card, a
a
dollar
US credit card, but they're not going to charge it. I know
No, they won't.
that's a big ask. I don't know who's going to trust, but if you have anyone that is working abroad, because the reason is because our own credit card in Nigeria is not accepted. All of those, you can't transact with it. So what you can do, if you have anybody abroad, if they can just put in their credit card, they're not going to charge anything there. So you can have a free trial for yourself. I mean, and then you can spin up that. So that's that.
Okay. Sorry, MJ. Okay,
Yeah.
Lara just pointed out whether the lab can be used. So I might have to make a request for extension, and I can't say how long since we borrowed the accounts from people as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The account we're using right now, the ones from MCTs, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Does the 6
Okay.
months cover for them as well?
No, so for MCTs, so what we did is this. I doubt. Let us get back, but I doubt whether it's going to be possible. It might not be possible, so that I don't raise any hope right now. Is MCT's people, these are Microsoft certified trainers, so they just kind of borrow us their account for the meantime, or is it a sandbox from MCTs also?
No, they borrow us their account. So
So
no, not
we can't.
sandbox. Is
No,
account. So the
they
problem
won't
is
be able to.
why the students are using it. They can't log if they have training. They can't use it at the same time.
No,
You
it won't
can't
be
log.
possible.
So that's
It
the
won't be
problem.
possible. Let's not. I don't want to raise up. It won't be possible. This it won't be possible. I think they should just get the alternative is for them to get someone to help them pay, just to put a credit card. Not then they're not going to charge the card, and then for them to do a trial on Azure. Yeah. All right, Lara. I think we have one hand up.
Yes, please type your question in the chat, especially if it's something we have partly addressed for, except it's something entirely different. Hello,
I'm sorry.
She didn't unmute herself.
It's just a confirmation because I had a network failure around when they were talking about the Azure. Please, I wanted to just ask, in our own case, since we made use of the tenants, there was no subscription. We have a documentation and we have a PowerPoint. Now there's no video because I heard when she was talking about doing a video presentation on how it works. Is the documentation and the PowerPoint slides, is it enough? That's just my question.
I think this will answer it, but I guess that at that day, if I have to give any input at that day, you need to log on to your what they call it, to your Azure tenants, yours, and then there will be a walkthrough. That's the I mean, TT, I speak your mind, but I will leave it for you to handle that here.
Yes, but because of the issue of most of them, their credit has run out.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it has been disabled. So we just told them to use the lab environment to try to achieve as much as possible. But the limitation with the lab environment is when you are asked to do a lab, maybe for virtual network, for instance, you might not be able to add anything security if it's not part of that lab. So it's kind of limited, which they will not be able to use it to showcase everything, the entire project that they have. However, you can pick something that you really want to talk about there and pick that particular lab. You ensure that you have configured that lab down, so you can use that to still show us how you still achieve some things. But if you can't do that, as long as you can
answer the question,
answer the questions that we are asking you on how, from your presentation, then it's fine.
And trust me, those questions, since you don't have lab, prepare your mind ahead of time. I'm not scaring you. If it is TT that is going to ask you, just joking. All right, go ahead.
Things is fine.
Okay. Thank you very much. So in summary, sorry? Yes. In summary, let's keep this Discord buzzing. Let's keep the WhatsApp platforms buzzing. Let's keep the link has been sent for us to join the community. Should we to catch up on other tracks, please use the YouTube link, the YouTube channel, to have access to other videos. While you're checking the YouTube, you also see the questions for the other tracks, the other project groups. Should you want to test your hands on them? Thank you very much for today's session. MJ.
Yes, please let everybody be aware that they have till 11:59 p.m. to upload all of their projects today.
Right.
Yes.
11:59 Nigerian time.
Yes, 11:59 Nigerian time to upload their projects today, and they will get the link. And then please, they should expect from their mentors, they are going to give them some links to practice assessment. There are about 50 questions in each of it. You have, like, I think Lara will give you the remaining information around that, so that you're supposed to do that practice assessment also. All 50 questions each. Please ensure that you do it. Thank you.
Yes. We had discussed this in the course of this discussion. So we would please look out in your mails for the assessment. 50 questions. Try as much as possible to answer all of them. Thank you again, everyone, for joining us this morning, this afternoon, this evening. Thank you for sharing your part of your weekend with us. And let's do this again next time, especially at the graduation ceremony coming up. Watch out in your emails. Don't let me tell you yet. Watch out. Watch out in your mails. Watch out on Discord. Let's keep the platforms alive. Let's watch out for it. Thank you so much. I will call this a wrap now. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now.